Good morning. You're almost at the weekend. It's the light breakfast with not just us, Tony as well, Asha and JD. Yes, that's Tony Fernandes from Air Asia, Queen's Park Rangers, Caterham, and of course with the all-new Talks with Tony on SYOK.
Woohoo! Tony, are you ready for the full breakfast experience?
I'm ready. I haven't done this before. Life's about experiencing new things. This is kind of cool. Asha and JD, what more could a man want?
Wait, have you had breakfast yet?
No. I generally skip breakfasts. I know it does a show.
All right.
But I am working incredibly hard to remove my belly.
All right.
And so I've been doing this intermittent fasting thing.
All right.
It's a real shame as breakfast is probably the most fun meal, actually. But
yeah,
at the moment.
So by 10 a.m. he's going to be exhausted,
Yeah.
Okay, let's crack on then, quickly, before he runs out of steam.
Yeah. All right, that's break one. Okay, break number two. Story one.
Okay.
It's the Light Breakfast with Tony, Asha, and JD. Check out his new podcast on SYOK Talks with Tony.
Okay, so we're going to be talking to you, Tony, today about a story that, I don't know how it's going to make you feel, and I'm probably going to be really mad at me for mispronouncing all of this, but this piece came up at the QPR beat Man United 4-2 the other day. It was a wake up for Ole Gunnar
Solskjaer.
Thank you. Expensively put together side. JD,
how did you feel about that when the result came out? Like, whoa.
It's a friendly.
Yeah.
It still felt great. A couple of things. One is, we've had a tough time in QPR, but me, Ruben, and the guys, we're fighters, just like we are in Air Asia and at Westport, and so we've rebuilt everything brick by brick, and to see kind of what we felt was towards the end of last season, we thought, hey, we got something here. Those bricks may be coming together, and then to see us. Really, honestly, I know I'm biased, but outplayed Manchester United, which is the biggest club in the world, maybe Barcelona, but I think worldwide Manchester United was like amazing. And the second most amazing thing, which is really relevant to Malaysians, is that, and why I keep saying be positive, was there were 14,000 fans for a friendly. There were 3,000 United fans, and there were no COVID cases that came out of the stadium. So, I'm hoping that this is the beginning of the end of this horrific crisis. And it felt good, JD. Obviously, Asha doesn't quite feel it, but it feels good when you hear from Alex Ferguson and Ole saying, wow, your team outpassed us. Felt good.
Because we knew we were going to have a chat with you and we're going to be doing the show with you. And then I was following that game closely because I'm a Man United fan. And I was like, come on, man. Really? There's nothing for me at all. What is going on here?
we all
JD choked a bit.
We all make mistakes in life. You back it up wearing a Ramones t-shirt. That brings back your coolness after saying you're a Manchester United. But, JD, I have a long history with Manchester United in a strange way. The first ever English Premier League football team I watched was West Ham United playing Manchester United. And you guys are too young, but in the early days, we used to get black and white reruns of a football once a week on Sunday called Star Soccer. And it was like 3 months delayed, right? 3 months delayed. And it was a Midlands TV production. So you saw like Stoke City, Wolverhampton.
Right.
And it was rubbish football. It was really rubbish football in muddy pitches and stuff. And then suddenly I saw this team called West Ham United and they were playing Manchester United. And I was like, wow, this is interesting. And so I started supporting West Ham United, and well, the rest is history. And then when Air Asia started, we always dream big, right? And I always tell people dream big. And there was an opportunity to sponsor Manchester United. that is the biggest club in the world. Painful for me because I hate that football club. But, you've got to sell yourself once in a while. And I said, okay, we go sponsor Manchester United, right? And me and Cameroon went out to Old Trafford which was now called Theater of Dreams.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Kind of sums up that club.
Right.
And,
sounds a bit hello.
Yeah.
Hallmark.
And I wasn't interested in the football match. I was just looking when our name came up on the billboards, right?
Right.
But we painted a plane, and United guys loved us. We won Sponsor of the Year twice, even though we were a tiny sponsor compared to Vodafone and stuff. And we took our A320 there, and Wayne Rooney and Ronaldo and everyone came, and they were great guys. And we played in Carrington. I remember Cameroon, right? I mean, this sums up, and this was quite a while ago, but still, we're playing indoor football in Carrington in the training ground, and someone crosses over the ball, and Cameroon does a bicycle kick. And I went, wow, not bad. Only problem is the ball had passed him 5 seconds already. So, so the brain was still working. I mean, the legs were still working. Brain was working, but legs weren't quite quick enough for the brain. So I have a deep respect for Manchester United, and obviously Alex Ferguson and Ole and Bobby Charlton, all good friends, apart from any of the players. So did you
ever have a chat with the Glazers and say, maybe I might want to buy Manchester United?
No. I only met Brian Glazer.
Right.
And no, I think Manchester United fans are hard. I mean, I know you haven't won much recently, but
wow.
The club is big still, and it is still the club everyone loves to hate or loves to love.
That's brilliant. Oh my God. When I watch the result, I'm like, come on, I need some content for the show, man. And then Kevin, I'm like, not that kind of content, man. I'm like, oh Lord.
You open a hole there, mate.
Oh my God. Okay, let's do story number 2.
Okay.
All right. It is the Light Breakfast with Tony, Asha, and JD. By the way, check out his new podcast on SYOK Talks with Tony.
Okay, so this story came across my news feed, and it was an article coming off one of these sort of mummies groups or nets or forums, right? And it was about basically what you can do if you are going absolutely up the wall because your children only want to listen to like Baby Shark and all of those tunes that just get stuck in your head, and they're like burr holes into your brain cells, right? So basically they have this list put together of some of the, I guess you could say, cooler tunes to be listening to, and they've got hip hop stuff like with Crisscross on there and those kind of old school clean hip hop, so you don't have to worry about your kids learning any bad language or anything, but they're proper cool groovy songs. And I was thinking about the fact that I went through the same pain when my kiddo was young, and until I came across the Medeski and Wood album, Let's Go There or Let's Get There, and it's a fantastic funky jazz album, and they've got like one tune called The Squelb, and it's like, you remind me of the Squelb, and it's all the story about the Squelb that runs up one shirt and goes down and lives in the pocket, and it's all to do with amazing sort of like these sort of thump jazz beats and stuff, which completely amused the child. But Tony, you love listening to music, right? You're a music guy through and through. Did you listen to music with your kids? Did you like?
Yeah, very much. I mean, they're not kids anymore, but definitely one more than the other. Stephen, my son, who's about to turn 21.
What?
Not so much. He was not so into music, but my daughter is 100% me. She's 100%. She's still listening to the Whispers. She's still listening to Steely Dan, Carole King. And she likes old school, Soul to Soul. If you remember that band.
Oh yeah, come on.
So we listened to music together when we were very young. Now, she's like me. I bought my first album when I was 5 years old, right? I managed to persuade my dad at Wells Supermarket.
I remember that.
Wells,
yeah. The
first floor
shop
was a record store, right? And there were high chairs, and my dad used to lift me up and put me there. And you used to have listening booths, right? And my first ever record was Supremes, A Go-Go.
At 5, why did you pick that up? Because it would have had the album cover, right?
My mother I had 2 upbringings, right? So I'm kind of changing the question that how I was brought up. My parents, my father was a Reader's Digest kind of music man, right? Ray Conniff, Al Martino, Perry Como, and all the big band stuff. And my mom was very progressive, right? Silver Convention, Van McCoy, Dionne Warwick, and I used to listen to radio, Patrick Teo's show, the Coca-Cola show and stuff, right? And I heard You Can't Hurry Love. And that like really stuck in my head. Now, we didn't have recordings, we didn't have anything. And the only way I could hear it again was to buy the album. And so I begged my father, and he bought it to me. And I had a little kind of, true Malaysian parents. I had a little turntable, which was battery operated. And, they bought that for me so I could listen to the multiplication tables, right? 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, brainwashed from an early stage, right? And I had all the nursery rhymes, and I had they ingrained me from a young age, the Walt Disney books where you put an album on and it'd say, when Tinkerbell tells you to turn the page, turn the page.
Right? Yes.
Right.
Wow.
And, so that was, that broke the Tinkerbell when I put on Diana Ross.
That was it.
Wells. And that was my first record. So, I was introduced to music very early stage. My daughter was, and she just sent me this morning, some beats that she loves, and she'd be a great record person, but she's really into creative branding and stuff. So, but she listens to all my music, and I listen to her music. And
so cool.
Anytime you guys don't agree on a certain
artist, she thinks she's superior in taste, and I will send her a Will.I.Am song, and she'll say no, it's with Snoop Dogg, and she'll say no, it's auto-tuned. And actually Mariana's daughter also told me she doesn't like auto-tuning. So of course she feels she's superior musically to me. And the other day, my son, who's incredibly creative in becoming an animator, and then really into Japanese anime, and he's doing a music video, and he sent me this song very sheepishly and said, "What do you think?" And I said, "Well, what do you think?" He said, "I really don't know." He said, "It sounds flat." And I said, the singer is horrific. It is like, someone's got out with a horrific hangover and tried to do an album. And he was like, "Yeah, I thought so, but I really didn't have a clue." So that's his first kind of asking me for musical direction. I was fairly harsh with him. So yeah, definitely music has been a very, very large part of our lives with my kids. And I was fairly lucky. Steph was very progressive from an early stage. She wasn't too much into nursery tunes. She progressed pretty damn quickly. Stephen was kind of stuck on SpongeBob for a while.
Really?
I'm so sorry.
I'm still stuck on SpongeBob right now.
Yeah, it's kind of weird though. You kind of get into it, right? You kind of get into it. So SpongeBob was kind of interesting. The Nickelodeon was it for me at that time.
Brilliant. All right, let's do the next one. This is fun. You okay with the flow, Tony?
Yeah.
Okay,
Perfect.
cool. I like it.
If I'm talking too much, tell me to cut it.
No, it's brilliant. We love it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I love these stories. Okay. It's a live breakfast with Tony, Asha, and JD on a Friday. Check out his new podcast, Talks with Tony, on SYOK.
Okay, so chaps, this is a heartwarming story about an Instagram influencer who basically, thanks to COVID, got derailed and got stuck at this airport and had to hang out there for far more hours than they were intending because it was transit, and then they got stuck there. Anyway, there was this old guy playing the piano in there, and so because he was there for hours, he got talking to this chap who basically he found out goes on dialysis all night and then makes his way to the airport during the day to play the piano to earn a few pennies from anyone passing by. And of course, business was getting worse and worse because COVID, less people were flying or they weren't, chucking as many pennies his way. And so he went out of his way to crowdfund and basically got this pianist a $10,000 tip at the end of his 10-hour jaunt being stuck in the airport or whatever, and gave it to him. And this guy was like seriously ill with all sorts of problems. So that was like absolutely super cool. And it made me think of you, Tony, because like you play the piano, right? Do you still play it?
I do. Oh, well, no, I don't really play it very much nowadays, but yeah, I've got my keyboard.
Keyboard. Romantic you.
Yeah, I know. But, I bought a drum set to try and beat the hell out of my frustrations. And
did it work?
Using no. but you know, I saw people really putting their music and drumming, and I haven't had enough lessons to really get there, but that's my dream. But yeah, still play a little bit here and there. You know, I kind of, you know, my mother was a massive influence in my life, and you know, we used to compose songs together. You know, when she was a Tupperware dealer, you know, I got a Tupperware feeling up in my head, and we'd be sell more Tupperware, sell more Tupperware, sell more Tupperware. And you know, she'd wake me up at 5 o'clock and say, "I've got a tune in my head. Let's get it down." And I'd sit on yellow pages and reach out to the pedals, and we'd write the tune together. And when she died, you know, very young, 48, it kind of really affected me, and I kind of stopped playing for a long time. I still write some songs. I still do it, but I don't play. It makes me sad actually when I play, because I miss her a hell of a lot. You know, though it's a long time. She passed away when I was 15. But yeah, so you know, getting onto a piano, because we had those Yamaha pianos at home, and you know, she jammed with. It was such a different era, you know. Asha, my mum was an amazing person. You know, when Ray Charles came to Malaysia, and she just called up and said, the Hilton Hotel, and said, "I'm Nina Fernandes, and do you want to come over to our house? We're gonna have a party." And I did. And, you know, and I jammed with Ray Charles, you know, I mean, can you imagine that?
How old were you?
I was about 12 or 13. Now, fast forward that story, he comes to Putra World Trade Center as a Warner music artist. And, you know, he remembers me completely.
Wow.
And remembers my mum completely. So yeah, you know, I still play a little bit here and there. That's a wonderfully warm story, hearing about the piano player in the airport. And, you know, a lot of live musicians are suffering. You know, we only hear about the factories and the businesses and the tourism business. But hey, live music gives us so much pleasure. You know, nightclub owners, the discos, you know, piano bars, all over the world, right? You know, I've been to some great piano bars in Portofino in Italy with Eros Ramazzotti and
oh my gosh, yes.
You know, these are amazing piano bars, right? And so when I heard that story, it's like, you know, it's wonderful that there are great people out there that still value all of these guys, and you know, I'm warmed by that. But yeah, I still play a bit, but not as much as I used to answer your question. But I still write the odd tune here and there. I write in major, so most of my songs don't sell, because people in Asia like minor chords.
Yeah, sad songs.
I have no idea what any of this means. JD does, because he's into music, but I don't.
Yeah, he got the Ramones, man.
Yeah.
So he's gone up in my estimation.
He only bought that because it was a $5.
So at no point would you go, like, if you're just walking in somewhere and then there's like a piano there, you wouldn't just walk right up and just start playing?
Yeah, I've done it once or twice. I did it in Los Angeles. You know, you got to do it, right?
Right.
Before they threw me out. I was at the Beverly Hills Wilshire, and I was staying there. And that's the famous piano, you know, where Richard Gere played to Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman, right? That is the piano. And so I went in there and played a quick tune before anyone saw me, and ran out. Now, before Instagram, would have been a great Instagram. But, you know, when you hear like my mates like David Foster play the piano, you don't want to play anymore.
Right.
Because he's like, oh my God, you feel so ordinary. So, you know, on Talks with Tony, we have a show with David, and he decides to do it on the piano. And, you know, even through Zoom or whatever, it's magical. And music is magical. And, you know, I've been blessed that I worked with such creative talent. You know, yeah, I play. But when you know, listen to talent, you know, when you're in the, here's another story I was telling Mariana yesterday. When you're in a karaoke bar with James Ingram and Lionel Richie.
Hello.
You listen to James Ingram just once live right next to you. I mean, you know, died and gone to heaven and come back, man, because that's something else. And when you do a duet with Lionel Richie for Endless Love, and I'm the Dinah Ross, these are moments that, you know, you can never relive again. Then the next minute you're doing it with a Malaysian Chinese dude singing Endless Love. It brings back the reality of life.